Well, hello, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Dave, and if you're not, it's still Dave, you know that. So, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's already well over 80 degrees, 80%, over 80% humidity. But I did get some weeding done, and I got some, actually weed flaming done in the paths and things that are where the weeds were just growing where they shouldn't be. And finally, I dug the compost potatoes. I know when I dug the red ones, I said I'd try to take you along for a dig, and I do still have 2 more small beds that need to be dug. We have, for the last, oh my gosh, 2 weeks at least, it's been over 90 degrees, over 80, 70, 80% humidity, and the heat index, if you're familiar with that, that's supposedly what it feels like with the combination of the heat and the humidity. It's been well over like 105, 110 many days, but certainly at 100 every day. And I can tell you, I've been to Arizona, I've been to New Mexico, and 100 degrees there with a dry heat is nothing compared to 90 degrees with 80 or 90% humidity. It's just unreal. You sweat, and there's like nowhere for it to go. It won't even evaporate. It just sits there, and you're soaking wet. So that's what we've had going on. So this morning I got up early, did those weeding chores, at least what I could get done. I've been out here for about 2.5 hours now. I'm baked. I'm already spent, and I still got more to do. But what I did do was, I told you about my potatoes that were in the compost pile that came up and volunteered. Well, I dug a bunch of those up. These are potatoes that last year didn't cure properly. They turned soft. And so I just took them out and threw them in the compost pile really last winter. And didn't really think much of them. Certainly didn't think they'd come back, but here we are. A bunch of them came back. The vines have now died back. It's been very difficult because of the heat and the humidity, as I said, but also we've been getting an inch or more of rain every day or two here. It's like we're living in the tropics all of a sudden instead of Maryland. And it's just been difficult, but I got to get these potatoes out of the ground before they rot, and because of all the moisture. So I dug all the compost potatoes that I'm going to dig. I'm sure there's still more in there. I don't know if that means I'll have a crop again this fall or another crop again in the spring. But what I've also got going on in there is volunteer sweet potatoes and volunteer tomatoes. So I didn't want to mess them up too bad. And so I kind of dug around them and got what I could. I got a decent haul. And we'll weigh these on the scale here and add those to my red potatoes. Really about maybe 3-4 years ago, I used to always garden, and I'd garden and plant tomatoes and peppers, and I still plant those things, cucumbers, that kind of stuff, all that traditional garden fare. But a few years ago, I really got into starting to plant more high calorie, almost survival gardening, or victory gardening, I guess. I'm not trying to rename something that's been around forever. And so I added potatoes, sweet potatoes, some corn, although I didn't really do much corn, any corn this year. But those things that are traditional staples that have allowed civilizations to thrive and survive. And when you're counting calories, a pound of cucumber or a pound of tomato it's less than 100 calories in a pound. 1 pound of potato is over 400 calories. So you can see that if you're allocating space and you want to have calories to sustain you, peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, while delicious, they're not going to be the things that you survive on. Certainly not the things that are going to keep you warm in the winter and keep you energized and going. So I'm going to stand up here. Oh boy, look at that sun. It's just, where is it? It's just blazing. I'm kind of, oh, sorry. I'm kind of under the umbrella. There, you can see. That way I can get at least a little bit of shade. And I'm looking for the button to turn you around. Here we are. So, here's my potato haul. These are russets, I believe. I believe that's what the ones were that went bad last year. Got a decent size haul here. As always, I got the wife's trusty bathroom scale. And so, let me brush that off. And we're going to put the potatoes right up on the scale. And we've got 11 pounds of potatoes. And as I said in a previous video, this bucket weighs about a half a pound or so. Got some decent sized ones. Got some small ones for frying. All kinds. Overall, I'm pleased for something that I really didn't spend any time on to get 10 pounds of potatoes. Let me turn you back around. Whew. That's over 4,000 calories. And that's a decent haul. Now when I, sorry, I'm getting my hands adjusted on the, there we go. When I get the, when I plant in my garden, I have a spreadsheet on Excel. I guess I should share that with you sometime. And I record how many pounds of each thing that I have harvested. And in addition, I then have some simple equations, and the number of pounds times whatever the given crop is, times the number of calories per pound, I can see how many calories I have harvested, and I can see just how close I am to being self-sufficient. Now, of course, I add in also, I don't add it on the chart, excuse me, but I also have eggs from chickens, as well as venison most years from deer hunting. And so we get to the point where we're getting close to being able to survive a year on just what is harvested without actually buying anything, but we're not there yet. And the gardening part really is the weakest link. It's the hardest part. It just, you never know from year to year. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what the weather's going to be. Bugs, pests, disease, whatever. So that's always the biggest X factor. But we've got, oh, excuse me. We're doing pretty well this year. My tomatoes looked great early, and now they're kind of wilting, honestly, under all this heat and humidity. They're starting to get some blight on them. I've had to pick off some nasty looking branches and throw those in the burn pile. So they're not kicking quite as much as I had hoped a month or two ago. If we could get a little bit of a break from this hot, heavy, oppressive weather, I think we'd do better. That being said, I'm going to turn you back around real quick. Sorry for my finger over the camera. And I'm sitting on the deck, and actually this is watermelon vine here that we've got, and it grows all along the deck. And this is one of about 6 mini watermelons that I have. I'm the only one there. Can you see that other one hanging on the other side right there? My wife doesn't eat watermelon. I plant them for me. My father likes them, and so I usually give him a few. Let me go back down, and I'm going to turn you back around. Whew. But again, watermelon, you can eat a lot of pounds of watermelon and still you can eat a lot of pounds of watermelon and still end up going hungry. But that's certainly a great treat. And I've got about 6 or 8 of them. My cucumbers are just coming on, so those will be nice to be pickled. I usually lacto ferment them. I like to get them a little crisper than they get. They can be a little bit soft. I've tried adding tannin. I've tried adding those crystals. I can't think of what they are right now. Maybe calcium carbonate, calcium something, and still they don't seem to get quite as crispy as I would hope. And so that's something that I'm always working on. But otherwise, everything's going good here. Hope everything's going well with you. So we got to add another 10 pounds of potatoes to the pantry, and then I've got 2 more small beds. Today is Today's Wednesday, so I'm going to try and hopefully dig those this weekend once I'm off work. I'm working long days this week. I sometimes work 5 8-hour days. I sometimes work 4 10-hour days, depending on the needs of the facility. And this was a 4 10-hour week. So I got today off, did those things, gonna go take care of some chickens, do a few other things that don't require a lot of strenuous, and then I'm gonna be inside until this evening when the sun's back down low, because it's just unbearable to be out here. I mean, I honestly, to the point that it's probably dangerous. I drank 2 gigantic glasses of water because I had stopped sweating, and I've immediately started sweating those out again, and then I've stopped sweating again. So I got to go inside and get some more fluids. So, but otherwise, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you haven't been affected by all this crazy weather, flooding, and things we've been having going on across the country. If you are, I pray for you. I hope you made it through. I hope things come out, work out, and God bless you and God be with you, because there's a lot going on right now. So in that note, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much and have a good day.